to week 3 of Love Yourself Now. I'm Geneviève from the Red Fairy Project, and I hope you're doing well. So we're going to talk about tools to develop that self-love, to grow that self-love. And for me, this is actually really fun because, as you saw in the thumbnail, and I'm just going to grab it here, there's a lot of fun and pretty tools at our disposal to work on our self-love. Now, the journal is a physical tool, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something material. In fact, I would say there's a lot of things that you can do, a lot of, I would say maybe little rituals that you can do to grow that self-love that don't cost anything at all. So I'm going to name a few that work for me, and this is something it's very personal. So this is what works for me, but you have to find what works for you. And I would say, different tools. I have like a chic little toolbox, like I like to say, and I grab different tools in it depending on what I need in particular, maybe what challenge I'm facing, and yeah, really based on a particular need. So I find that meditation is a really helpful tool. I've talked about this before, and in the previous series, 2019 Happy, Lean, and Serene, I talked about the benefits of meditating and why, for me, it's really a key tool, a key ritual that I do every single day. Now, for me to do something every single day, I meditate every morning. I have to get up earlier in the morning to do this, which means I need to go to bed earlier the night before. So for me to do that, it's because I see a real benefit to it, because if I didn't, I wouldn't bother. So the reason I find that meditating is so helpful is it quiets the mind. You can really get a lot more clarity and really quiet. They call it the monkey mind, that chatter that keeps going on in our minds if we don't take the time to slow down. I find it also allows me to get a lot of perspective and detach from kind of the everyday little dramas and negative things that happen. And I really come back to the essence of who I really am. And for me, in the end, I'm not any of the roles that I have in my life. So whether I'm a daughter, a girlfriend, an employee, a boss, any of that, I really just am. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. And none of those roles really define me. So if one of those roles is very challenging at that moment, I can remind myself, whatever happens, it's okay. I don't have to like cling to, oh my gosh, I have to do so well or else I'm not going to be worthy, and I'm going to be a failure. So I just remember all of those external things. I don't want to say that they don't matter, but they probably don't matter as much as we think they do, and we can't let them affect our self-love. So I really love meditation to get some perspective. I love, as I said, I really love journaling as well, because it allows me to put down on paper if I'm struggling with somebody, something, or somebody. But it also not it forces me, but it inspires me to take the time to jot down also all the victories in my life. And that is one thing that is so important when you're building and growing that self-love, to celebrate even the smallest little victories. It's so important to realize, because we often tend to focus and remember and dwell on the mistakes that we make. And making a mistake and then learning from it is fine, but when you're dwelling on it and you're just kind of constantly, in French we say autoflagellation, like beating yourself up about it constantly, it's not productive, and it's actually quite destructive to your self-love. So I like jotting down all the little victories. I also like jotting down, if I made a mistake, what I learned from it, to then be able to kind of move on with that lesson in mind, and then just releasing that negativity or any kind of negative dialogue that I might have had about that in particular. I find that spending time in nature is really great too. It's coming back to the basics, connecting with inspiration, with beauty. But overall, it's doing something that you love and that's good for you. So for me, I love fitness, I love wellness. So making a nice smoothie for myself in the morning for me is a great act of self-love. It's a great tool for me to show love to my body. I really believe in giving love every day to your your body, your mind, and your soul. And for me, a great smoothie, a great workout in the morning, a nice yoga class, spending time with loving friends, supportive friends, family members, being with with my parents or my boyfriend. All of those things for me they are good for me. So for me, that's an act of self-love, to taking the time to do something that really makes me happy. So think about in your life what you might have. I just want to see, because I know I jotted down a lot of things in here. So as I said, like, even like taking a nice bath, just taking a bit of time for yourself. And I know that it can be harder for some of you to do that, because you might be, I have friends that are wonderful mothers and they don't have a lot of time for themselves. So if a bath is too much, maybe just a couple of minutes of meditation, or maybe just reading a magazine that inspires you. Just do something for yourself, because you have to remember that we are better people. We're better, friends or mothers, or parents, or, romantic partners when we do take care of ourselves. What else do I have? Oh yeah, so another thing that I wanted to mention is also when we do something good for other people. So I just talked about doing something that's good for you, and I think that's really, really important. But giving back for me and helping somebody else, like kind of, we often have maybe our attention directed inwards. And so directing it outwards and seeing, is there somebody else that maybe needs some love? Now, if you tend to always take care of other people and always put yourself last, maybe that's not for you, because you're already doing that. But if you tend to maybe focus more on yourself, or you're more, like me, like I don't have kids, so obviously like think about myself and my life a lot and all that, but I'm making an effort to look outwards and seeing in very small ways, like, yes, it's great if you want to donate to a great cause or get involved or volunteer, or something like that. I think that is wonderful. But it can be just small gestures, everyday gestures, like saying hello to somebody, taking the time to ask them how's their weekend, or remembering something they might have said the previous week and say, so how did that go finally? Just showing to other people that they are seen. It can make a huge difference in somebody's day, and we always feel good when we make other people feel good as well. So I think that is a key thing that actually is really important to building your self-love, how you treat other people, because if you're really nice with yourself but you're shitty with other people, which would surprise me greatly from this audience, that doesn't work either. So look at that as well. Like they say, if you're feeling helpless, help somebody else. I really, really believe that. It's like kind of get over yourself and kind of look at what's going on around you, because often we can be maybe a little bit melodramatic about our lives and our problems and all that, but when we look outside and around us, everybody has their struggles. So I find that doing just a little something takes a minute, doesn't cost you anything, and it makes the world of difference. And if we all do that, it makes a huge difference. To know your examples of self-love, how to build self-love, and if you have any tools in particular, whether it's a physical tool, sometimes I like having positive messages. I have my vision board in the back there. I always have like little things like it's cool to be kind, and just a few little, obviously I do my daily inspirations every day on Instagram at Red Fairy Project, shameless plug. And those little things, those little quotes, those little reminders for self-love are great tools, and it's not something that's complicated to integrate into your daily life. And I have them sprinkled kind of these tools all over my life throughout the day to help me just make the day more enjoyable and to continue working on that self-love. So if you have any tricks or tips, let me know. As you know, every day until the next video, until next Saturday, you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook at Red Fairy Project. If you have anything in particular that you have a question about, you can contact me, info@redfairyproject.com, or you can just send me a direct message as well. Until next week, I wish you a wonderful week, a very loving week, and look around you to see if somebody else might need a little bit of love as well. So I will see you very soon. Bye.